And the third reason we're there is because there are 20 million Uyghurs, and if the CIA has to mount an operation using those Uyghurs, as Erdogan has done in Turkey against Assad, well, the CIA would want to destabilize China, and that would be the best way to do it, to foment unrest and to join with those Uyghurs in pushing the Han Chinese and Beijing from internal.
At the ceremony, I met Omer Kanat, chairman of the World Uyghur Congress, a group funded almost entirely by the NED.
The Chinese authorities, Chinese government put more than 1 million Uyghurs in so-called re-education camp. It is very similar to concentration camp.
How do you know it's 1 million, the number? That's a very staggering number.
Yeah, staggering number. This number was given to by some or even some Western media estimates. We don't know exactly how much.
Western media estimates.
One of the most closely guarded secrets of the Cold War was America's role in supporting Afghan warlords known as the Mujahideen. The official story is that America backed these fundamentalists in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in December 1979. But that's not true. It was 6 months before the Soviet invasion, in July of that year, that President Jimmy Carter authorized $500 million to help set up the Mujahideen, a terrorist organization. The American people were completely unaware that their government, together with the British Secret Service, MI6, had begun training and funding Islamic extremists, including Osama bin Laden. Out of this came the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and September the 11th. Soon after the Taliban came to power in 1996, the administration of Bill Clinton backed a secret plan for a pipeline through Afghanistan from Central Asia, which has vast reserves of oil and gas. The Taliban were offered a generous cut in the deal and secretly invited to Washington and Texas. They were treated royally, taken shopping and flown to tourist attractions like the NASA Space Center and Mount Rushmore. Their tour was so secret that no television news covered it. Most Americans knew nothing. By the time George W. Bush came to power, the link between Al-Qaeda and the Taliban was an embarrassment, and September the 11th gave Bush an opportunity to get rid of them. Today, Afghanistan is run by a regime installed by the Americans, and the pipeline deal is going ahead. September the 11th also presented an opportunity to an influential group who, even by Republican Party standards, were extreme. Ray McGovern is a former senior officer of the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, and a personal friend of George Bush Sr., the president's father.
我没看过，也没听说过，不存在瞎说，
胡说八道，特别可笑的就有这个胡话了，
全部胡说，哪有那样的事情？对新疆人民的对那个劳动人，纯粹是属于一个侮辱，都是假的，不对不起的，
在新疆没有那样的强迫劳动事情啊。
一看到那个信息就是我也很气的，那些都是谣言。
他们自己的目的是自己种自己劳动。
自己想干可以干，不想干不想干。
我们现在干活心痛的很啊。
Ben yamayır yapmasa ulanmamı işte 3 avcının işi geçirip na ulan hakikaten ay nak meydan doksporlar.
真心邀请他们自己先来新疆看一下，不要在那里胡说。
This is actually not a photo of Uyghur men imminently waiting for their death. It is not a Chinese genocide. Them having you believe this is the reason why Asian Americans are getting hate crime so much. This photo was taken by Chinese journalists, not Xinjiang independent investigators. It is from a Chinese article that you can find in Baidu. As you can see, in China, inmates that are dressed in blue are people that have committed civil crimes. The context is there are 60,000 religious leaders along with CPC members to give a de-radicalization talk. They talk about how to practice religion without resorting to extremism. They talk about Xinjiang's development and the Belt and Road Initiative and how there are opportunities when they come out of prison. It's supposed to be a joyful and hopeful day for China and Uyghurs, but regime change NGOs like Human Rights Watch is funded by George Soros' Open Societies Foundation to topple sovereign government.
A Uyghur woman who said on CNN that one of her 3 children died in a Urumqi hospital. During the interview, Tursun said she was separated from her triplets at the Urumqi airport and held in custody. After her release, she says she was told that her son died following an operation.
This is Urumqi Children's Hospital, where Mihigu Tursun claims one of her triplets died, a claim that the hospital adamantly denies.
Dr. Li Xuexiong has worked at Urumqi Children's Hospital for 30 years. He says records show only Mihigu's son named Moaz received the treatment at the hospital between January and November of 2016, twice for pneumonia and once for a hernia.
Moaz's respiration system was infected, so we decided not to give him surgery. After we cured him, Marigul's mother took Moaz out of the hospital on November 8, 2016.
Meanwhile, according to exit and entry records, all of Mihigu's children, Mohamed, Elina, and Moaz, left China after 2016.
Mihigu and one of her sons left China in January 2016. Her other son and daughter left China in April 2018, and they didn't re-enter the country.
1,000 kilometers from Urumqi, Chiemo County is where Mihigu's parents and brother live.
Kızım 2016 yılı 7. ayda Mısır'dan kelgen vaqtida elip kiptiken. Bu resim hazır Mısır'da kishi oğlamning acısı Samar mabalını beqatıdı. Mısır'da ba mabal hazır.
With evidence proving that Mihigu's children are alive, the questions are, why would she lie to CNN, and how did she end up telling these lies at a U.S. congressional hearing?
So when was the last time you and your family talked to Mihigu Tursun, and what did she respond?
他最后一次给我们发的微信群里面内容是2018年10月11号他微信群里面发的这些内容。有些人在国外威胁他，有些坏人威胁他，也回不来中国，也留不下在国外。
Not only did Mihigu fabricate a story about her child's death, she also made accusations about China's education and training center in Xinjiang. She claims she was jailed and tortured, and she saw fellow prisoners die in detention.
我姐姐从来就没去过，也没关押过招聘中心，没有这样的事情。都是编的。都是编的，她胡说的。
Both Mihigu's brother and mother say they're deeply worried about her condition in the U.S.
Stop. What the hell are you talking about? Get my pretty name out of your mouth. We are not the same with or without.
This one was taken at the signing of Boxer Protocol in 1901, an unequal treaty China signed after it's defeated by 8 Western powers. The treaty allowed Western troops to be stationed in China and forced Beijing to pay 18,000 tons of silver.